Alright, I'll be talking about Diet Death. Diet Death is it's kind of like Forsaken, it's one of those asymmetrical game based on stunning the killer, making sure everyone at the end lives. Now, I'll be talking about the civilians' abilities, the killers, the maps, the game modes, and the skins. Now, the skins in the map are kind of just there just to give new players an idea of why this game is kind of good compared to Forsaken and a lot of other games besides Outcome Memories, because Outcome Memories is good. But play the game, please, and watch my video, please. And then but first we have civilians. I'll be explaining all their abilities and what they do basically and how they work and the best way to use them. Killers, I'll be doing the same thing, their abilities and how to use them, which maps they're good on. Then game modes, I'll explain just which game mode's really good and which game modes are really bad and which one to use on each game mode, honestly. But first off, survivors. Now, the survivors have 12 abilities after exposal. Now, the neat thing about this is that they actually don't get to pick all of them, and they're given out randomly in these 3 cards. Now, you'll get 3 cards with 2 random abilities in it. You can have duplicate of the same ability, like you can have, for example, you can have banana peel and 2 of them, and it's kind of just random most of the time, but you won't have the same kit ever, I don't think. It's just kind of random. Now, there's actually 2 cards that actually have their own special ability. That means the green one and the purple one. Now, I'll explain how those work because those change up the gameplay completely, and they all have their own special perks and whatnot. And now, I'll just explain all the abilities in a list, and we'll make it real fast. We won't make it really long. I'll just explain how to use them, what they do, and that's basically what I'll do. Now our first ability is Adrenaline. Now this basically allows you to run really fast for 6 seconds, and at the end of these 6 seconds you'll be stunned for 2.5 seconds, not allowing you to move. This makes it so you can't just, use a speed ability and just completely outrun the killer and have no consequences. Now it's a little overkill, but you also gain exhaustion for 4.5 seconds. This makes it so you can't regen stamina for that amount of time. Now, this ability is really good if used at the proper time and the right time. Now, there's 2 good ways to use it: when Pursuer uses his RAR attack, or when you're at 100 stamina running away from the killer. Now, never use it at 50, because if you don't have a guaranteed shot to get away from the killer, he is just going to chase you down until he kills you, and that's basically what's going to happen. You're just going to stop, and he's going to get a couple hits on you, and you won't be able to outrun him anyway. Next is Banana Peel. This ability is kind of like a trap. You shoot a banana out of a cannon. This takes a little bit to happen, so you have 2 seconds where you're completely kind of slowed down. You can't run away from the killer at all. And when you're fired, if the killer or you walk onto that trap, you will be ragdolled for 2 seconds and stunned for the 2 seconds. After 23 seconds, the banana peel will start to rot and will disappear after the 23 seconds until you can place another one. Now, the best way to use this is to place it under a badware computer, or just place it at the corner of something, like a corner of the map. Not the corner of the map, but a corner in like a route in the map. Now, if you place on the computer, when the badware teleports, which I'll explain later about his computers and everything, when he teleports to that, he'll fall into the banana peel, wasting his giant boost that he has, allowing you to run away from the killer. And you can't even tell which one has it because the computer blocks the banana. And at the end, if putting it by the corner of the map, not like the corner of the part of the map, I can't talk for some reason. But if you do that, that is basically a good way to make it so they can't cut corners as good as they can against you. So it allows your teammates to cut corners, but they can't. Anyone besides you and the killer will fall on your banana peel. So just keep that in mind. This is the fun ability. Don't try to hit it really close because it takes so long to shoot the initial shot. But if you're lucky and really good at it, you can manage it. Block is kind of like a counter. This lasts for 2 seconds. You can block any type of attack, besides some. You gain 10 HP from when using this. This does not pass the limit of HP, so keep that in mind. You can't just get 110 HP if you block something, but it will heal up to 100 if you're at like 99 or something. This disables the killer's moves for 1 second. Missing this attack basically means you fucking die. I mean, but if you're going against killdroid, it's not too bad to miss this. But if you miss it on like Pursuer, you're definitely gonna get fucking shanked. And next is boost pad. This allows you to place down a boost pad basically for all your teammates to use. It's kind of like adrenaline, but not really. The buff only lasts for 2 seconds. You don't have any downsides either. Now this takes a little bit to place. It takes 2.5 seconds to place down and can only boost one person at a time, so don't have a bunch of people on it. You cannot stack the speed, but you'll get it again after the 2 seconds are up. And do not place it in front of the killer, because if the killer hits you during it, it can be destroyed basically. Best way to use this is to just place one early and away from the killer. That's basically it. Now Caretaker, this ability heals your teammates for 10 HP. It does overheal for 10 for a total of 20 HP. Now you'll get the initial 10 HP from it, but over time you'll get 10 HP. Now this is kind of like the Cream and Elliot of your team. The best way to use this is to not be moving, so make sure everyone is standing still in a pile to heal them. Now if you miss, you'll be stuck and you won't be healing anyone, and the killer can kill you at any point. And keep in mind, you'll definitely be a target for any type of killer just because you're the healer of the team, and why wouldn't they target you if they can know they could get rid of a heal? Cloak. Now Cloak is kind of like an invisible move. It's pretty hard to use, honestly. It's not really good besides in one of the game modes, but in a span of 1.5 seconds you become invisible to anyone. But you will have footprints. Don't worry about those. No one else can see them besides you. You have 10 seconds max of being invisible. You'll go invisible for 10 seconds, then reappear, which takes a little bit to reappear, so make sure you're not by any killer or anything, because they can hit you a couple times. Now, you also have exhaustion, where you can't regain stamina. So basically, whatever stamina you go into with Cloak is how much you'll have to run away. And then you won't regain that stamina until you're like fully uncloaked. And then if you use it right by the killer, if they hit you, you will come out of invisible, and you will have to sit there the entire end lag too. And it's really bad too, because you'll get hit many times too, because it takes so long. Now dash, this is a fast movement allowing you to get away from any killer or being cornered by them. This uses 35 stamina to use it. The best bet to use it, to only use it when you're close to 0 stamina, because you can't get negative stamina. This is kind of like a dire situation to use dash. It's not really good, but it is somewhat good. I don't know how to explain it. It's good. I wouldn't pick it though most of the time, but yeah. All right, for Hot Dog, this is like a heal, but it has really bad debuffs. Using the Hot Dog gives you 5 more extra HP. This caps at 125 HP. This heals for 15, but you lose 5 stamina. And this takes around 3 seconds to eat this hot dog, so using it in front of the killer is not ideal. It's really good with adrenaline, because if you don't have a lot of stamina, then boost your stamina wise, so you can at least try to get away from the killer. You'll be really tanky anyways, so this is really good.
And look at you with the fucking hot dogs.
See, why are you dick eating?
You're fucking fat. Oh my god, why do you want?
This is really easy to use. Honestly, the best way to use them is to go into the corner of the map and heal it at 125. Because honestly, if you go past 125, you're pretty much wasting. The only time I would continue to eat hot dogs is if I take damage and I know I have to heal. Now, I would honestly tank as using hot dogs, since you have so much HP compared to everyone else. Don't tank too much. It's to the point where like you basically can't even heal yourself back to full without like risking the entire game for yourself. So don't do that. Try body blocking sometimes, but that's about it. Next we have Punch. Now Punch is a really good stun move. This is our first stun move that we'll be talking about. Now it has a windup of 0.75 seconds, and then it's stunned for 3 seconds and also does 25 damage. Now this one's really easy to hit now, considering a lot of other games is punching or hitboxes are pretty buns. But honestly, this one you can run with it and turn around, and if you're really good at it, you can turn around and hit them. Your hitbox is really far. You can hit pretty far away from where you're standing, and it's really good. Missing this means you'll more than likely die. you'll be stunned for a long time if missing it, so try not to miss it as much as you can. Now for Revolver. This ability is a long-range projectile that stuns for 2 seconds, has a big explosion that does 50 damage. Now, the neat thing about this is you actually have to reload this gun, which doesn't take too long to reload, but it has, after you shoot it, you have to reload it in order to shoot it again. So you can't just spam the gun. You'd have to actually go far away, reload the gun, and then you can come back and shoot it, which is honestly a really good thing to do. It takes a little bit to, as I said, it takes a little bit to reload it, but it at least adds a little kick to it, and you don't have to just randomly have infinite bullets that you can shoot. Next is Taunt. This is kind of like a block, kind of ish. Now, it has a 1 second wind up, and missing this means you'll basically die. Try not to miss this at all. It's pretty hard to hit. Basically, you have a small hitbox at first, and it gets pretty big over time. Once that is over, you'll be stunned for a couple of seconds. If you do miss this, you'll get, if you do hit it, you'll get a shift for 2 seconds, and they will display something on the killer screen, which makes it harder for them to see, but you can turn on epilepsy mode and turn it off. Kind of annoying that you can do that, but it also highlights the killer for 5 seconds. You have an end lag of 2 seconds. The best way to use this is honestly to hide behind a wall and wait for them to come to you, then use it, or do what I said for the punch and just run forward, use it, and then turn around and hit them with it. Real easy.
Oh, okay.
No! Now for the 2 special kits that I was talking about. There's 2 being Care Pad and Love Shot. Now, these ones change up the game completely. Now, Care Pad, your normal boost pad, now turns into a heal pad that heals 2 HP each second, which is really, really good. You'll definitely be targeted for it. You also get Caretaker as well. And you're basically the biggest healer, but you have 75 HP, so you'll definitely get killed by anyone wanting to really kill you. Love Shot is basically like a healer, but his gun actually, like, instead of doing, well, it does damage, but it heals you as well. Now, these are actually really cool, and you always want to pick these because they're really good. You can help your teammates and everything. And honestly, I think the best one is Love Shot, just because you can at least defend yourself from killers and everything, and heal off your whatever. Alright, next I'll be talking about all 5 of the killers. First we have Pursuer. Pursuer isn't a very far-range character. He's kind of like Jason in Forsaken for his moves. Now, he has Swing, which is just a normal M1 that does 20 damage. He has Cleave. This is kind of like a mini dash, and it gets you pretty far. It does 20 damage and adds additional bleed. When hit, even if you hit or miss, you will be stunned for 1 second after using it. So make sure you don't miss it or anything like that. Next, he has Howl. Now, this is a loud scream. You'll know because you do the whatever thing. And any survivor in 100 stud range will be slowed down drastically. Now, this is where the adrenaline comes in and every blah, 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 and all that stuff. Just make sure you don't run when he's using this. Make sure you wait, because he will stand still. He can't move when using it. So you can just stand still and gain some stamina back. Next, he has Stalk. This grants Pursuer invisibility, increased movement speed, and the ability to see all civilians globally. And you can't use any of your attacks in this. So, yeah. And then while you're in this, you have a short animation of coming out of it and going into it. Now, this one's pretty hard to use. I would try using this. Like, the best way to do it is to go hide yourself too, so they don't know where you're coming from. And that's pretty much all you have to do for that move. That move's pretty good. I actually like that move. Honestly, how to use him? To be honest, I think he's really good on any map, honestly, because he's just a hunt. He can hunt down people. He has all the stamina in the world to catch up. You can't get looped really because you have Cleave and Howl, which slows them down, and Cleave gets up really close to them. Now, honestly, how to use it? Just watch your stamina. Make sure you use Cleave to catch up, and make sure you use Howl too. Otherwise, the only thing you really need to worry about is how much stamina you're using to catch them. Bad word. Now he has a Swing. This one's pretty weird because when he attacks, he goes forward a little bit and then he slows down. and his hitboxes are atrocious. So have fun using that. This is a move where you can place computers. This is like a boost pad for you. It takes a little bit to place down the computers, but it's worth it. This gives you a permanent speed boost whenever you're around the computer. You can stack these boosts by putting 2 computers by each other, but you can't put them directly by each other. You gotta put them kind of away from each other. The max you can have is 6. Survivors can break these computers nearby by interacting with them, successfully adding like 5, but it really depends on how many players are in. So if you have a maxed out server, you'll put only like 2 or 3 or something like that. Now once it hits 100, the computer will explode, but you will gain a boost. You can actually destroy your own computers, which I'll talk about later. Now you'll actually get, this is a really good move, mostly because whenever they do destroy it, you can always get this giant speed boost around another computer, but I'll explain how to use that later. Now it decreases by 1% each second if no one interacts with it. And it's a really good move. It's kind of like a boost pad. That's all. Yeah. Bull. This is like a charge attack. He will stop in place and make a sound, then begin to charge at any survivor that gets in his way. You can block. You can get blocked by someone. It also does 10 damage at base. Now, the more computers you have, the more damage it does. I think the max is 35. It adds an additional 5 each time you have a computer down. So as many computers down, yeah. You'll regain stamina when using Bolt. The downside on this is that if you do hit someone, you ragdoll them and yourself too, and you'll have a longer ragdoll than you will the survivors will, which I don't understand that, but I guess it's really good. But then at the end of the hand, if you miss, you also get stunned. So try not to miss this at all. And I honestly don't use it when I'm playing Badware, because I'll explain how I use it later. Rift, this is like a teleport to your computer. This destroys it and does a big AoE. It adds a bleed effect for 10 seconds. If any civilians in range, you can get parried, but using parry on that is pretty garbage. You get a really fast speed boost from it, making you really fast actually, especially if you have a computer nearby. And I wouldn't break the computers I would let other people do it to break the computers. How to use. Now your best bet, at the very beginning of the round, make sure you have at least 2 computers down. Now you have 4 minutes to kill them, so wasting that a little bit of time to place computers down is pretty good. You have 15 seconds to wait for each computer, so I don't know why you wouldn't place at least 2 computers before starting the round. Now, how I use them, I basically use the computers as bait. Now, when here's the thing you can do. When they're breaking your computer and you have another one nearby, break the other one that they're not breaking, so then they all start running away because they'll get a giant notification saying that you're gonna break your computer. You break the one that obviously you're not gonna break, then they're obviously gonna run to that one too because they think you're gonna break the one that they're already gonna break. You teleport to that one, then you have this giant speed boost, and they're probably running into you, and you have the other computer up. So it's basically a win-win. Try to bait them. Don't always go to the one that they're breaking, but honestly, let them break your computers for you because it's super easy and you get a speed boost. And sometimes they don't even care when they break the computers. Like you'll be chasing someone, you'll have 40 stamina, and boom, your computer's broken, and all of a sudden you have this giant speed boost to catch up and kill the guy. Anyways, let's just move on. Now, Artful, he has normal M1s. This is just a swing. Next, he has Implement. This is basically where he summons a wall, blocking off people from going a certain way. Now, the wall does have HP and does take a little bit of time to play. So, when you do place it, it comes up from the ground. Survivors can walk over it before the wall is actually placed up all the way. And it has HP. So shooting it or punching it will break the computer eventually. Not the computer, the wall. God, I'm sorry for being dumb. But yeah, it will break that. And then it also does lose HP over time. So you can't just place a wall and have people suffering. But the cool thing is, any person that is invisible or a killer can walk through the wall, damaging it, and also making it open to other people. So if you go invisible, you can just go and touch the wall and then it breaks down. Or it doesn't break down, but it opens the path. They actually have Copyright. This is basically like a slow down ability, but it's like a box. It slows down the nearest person to it slows them down a lot, and he can place up to at least 2. And if you place another one, then the other one won't do anything, so don't place more. Now for repurpose, this is a lot, so bear with me. He has three things he can use repurpose on. He can use it on the wall. He basically just has an animation where he puts the wall in his pocket. He can then throw the wall as a projectile that does 15 damage and a splash. Next, he can pick up the music boxes that he has, and he can use them on himself, granting him a speed boost, which is honestly probably one of his best abilities. Next, he has Puppet, where he can literally just, if he gets a hit on you with repurpose, he can summon a puppet that will chase people around, does 15 damage, and loses HP over time. The survivors can hit it to lower its HP. You can do the same with Copyright, but it's never really worth it because Copyright has so much HP, so I would just let it down. Oh, weird!
He's about to die, he's about to die.
You cannot beat me in my favorite fucking game, bitch!
No,
I play this non-stop. I get off of fucking work, off of school, I do my school homework. I hop on this fuck-ass game. I haven't played any other game besides this fucking game. Oh, shit!
No, he won.
Snow's about to fucking die, Snow's about to fucking die.
There's one shot!
Oh, he must did! Oh, shit! How to use it? To be honest, I wouldn't use him. He's really map-based. You really have to apply yourself when using him. Kind of like Badware with the computer placements and stuff like that. None of the maps. There's only 2 maps I think is really good, and that's Grandma's Backyard and Baseplate, which I'll show up on the screen where you can place your walls and everything to stop people from getting past. But honestly, he's really bad. I don't know why they would do that to him. He only has 90 stamina, and the other thing is he has this last man standing with people with banana gun. So basically, the banana gun turns into like a gun. You only have 2 seconds of cooldown on it. It does 50 damage whenever it hits the artful, but artful gets a little bit of stamina, but it doesn't matter because the artful probably doesn't already lost a lot of HP because like he doesn't have a bunch of HP already. So artful just gets absolutely shit on in that, and he's really bad. I'm hoping that he gets at least a buff, but or something like that. Harken. Now Harken has a swing, which is basically an M1, but does more damage in 2, depending if you're chained or not. Now, Agitation is an ability. This is a far range attack, which you can pretty much just send a shockwave through the ground with pillars, and it hits the survivor up. You don't take fall damage, but it also does a little bit more damage if you are in chains, so just keep that in mind. Tangled, this is a throwable spear. This is what puts you chained up. So you can throw this really far, and then once it hits you, it pulls you to her, it heals both you and the survivor. I don't know why it does, but this also adds a 1.25 effect, adding 25% more damage to every attack. MLA is basically what your rage mode is. It's not exactly, but you'll stab yourself with the spear, giving yourself more rage. Now, I haven't talked about the rage mode because it's actually your passive. Once there's a bar at the very bottom, once you hit 80 on it, you will scream really loudly, become really fast, and do a lot more damage. Now, you'll lose stamina, which is alright considering that you'll do a lot of damage already. Now, you can stack this with chain as well. Now, once you hit like 30-ish rage mode, you'll just calm down and you'll just stand still, and you'll go back to normal damage. How to play her? The best way to use her is to make as much noise as you can, and you get noise from doing M1s as well, so just keep that in mind. You have to hit them. And she's not bad like Artful either, because she's got a lot of move to catch up and everything like that. She has 400 HP, so keep that in mind. She is really bad in certain game modes too, so yeah, just try to be sure you're careful with that. Killdroid, Eject. Now this is actually his M1, but it actually has a 2.5 cooldown instead of the 1 initial cooldown for everyone else. Now, his M1 is completely different. It's a far range projectile that moves as slow as the gun does, and it does 25 damage instead. Now, this one's pretty hard to hit, and I'll explain why. Flight. Now flight, this is basically a fly move where you can fly over and aim down and shoot. This one is really good too, but the side effect, the bad side about it is that you'll ragdoll a little when you touch the ground or touch any wall. Deploy, this is basically like your trap. This is basically like the artful traps, but it explodes. Now, you have a max of 3, and if you place more than that, the oldest one will explode. Now, you have 4 seconds of this animation that you have to go through. After placing it, you'll have 5 beeps on it. Now, if the survivor walks past that 5 times, it will explode. You cannot parry this. It also highlights the survivor and does 25 damage. Now, his last move is detonate. Now, detonate is all I gotta do is just show you what it is. This does 25 damage and does a massive explosion. You lose 125 HP in ragdoll. Now, I'll show you what this is because this is actually pretty funny, and this is probably one of the best BMs you can hit when you win a game. Now, on how to play them, play range. Don't really be up close to people. Now, here's the big thing, is that parry works on your M1s, and obviously your M1s are going to be really easy to parry. So, if you're going up against someone that can parry, try baiting his parry by shooting in a different direction. That definitely gets a lot of people to put up their parry. And make sure you just place your bombs in places where they can't go, because obviously you'll trap them in there. Now, there is this little thing with gun, with revolver against your bombs. Now, if you shoot revolver right as the bomb hits the ground, you'll get iframes for some reason, which I never knew you had iframes while using revolver. But you get iframes, and now you just don't take any damage from the bomb, making the bomb completely useless. Now, I have no idea why they have that, but anyways, on to game modes. Now, there are only 5 game modes, that being Double Trouble, One Bounce, Evil Scary, Gunslinger, Die Nation. Now, out of the 5 game modes, I bet only 3 are really going to be fun to you. In my opinion, I think the One Bounce, Die Nation, and Double Trouble are the best ones, and I'll explain why. Double Trouble, this game mode is where 2 killers, that being the highest 2 players in the game, will become the killers. They work together. The M1s they'll lose damage on their M1s, and also the timer will be halved, so you'll have 2 minutes instead of 4. Now, the reason why this one's best is because you can either have one of the greatest teammates or the worst teammates ever, but regardless, it's still fun because you don't lose as much monster chance. One Bounce. Now, this is one of the greatest game modes I've seen, one of the most unique ones I've ever seen. Now, this is the killers versus one survivor. Now, the one survivor always seems to be like this new player too. It's always so funny. But always like this new player will join, the game will happen, and this guy is completely new to the game, and his first impression is him getting jumped by literally everyone. Now, the thing is about this game mode is that you are one survivor by yourself. You have 1 minute to survive. You also get 250 stamina and a ton of HP. Now, the best way to win this is getting adrenaline and cloak, because obviously you want to be able to run away from them, and you have 250 stamina. You'll outrun them a hell of a lot better with adrenaline on One Bounce. And cloak, honestly, the best way to hide from people.
There's some guy waiting there.
He's just
oh, he's there. I guess it wasn't. That was 15 damage? Not slick. Oh, you might be slick actually, hold on. You might be slick.
Yeah, no, I juked the entire fucking team, dog.
No way you win. You're gonna win this.
No way, I got stuck. Come on! No way! I'm about to win this!
You're about to fucking win it.
No way!
Whoever was invisible sold the game. Whoever was
Evil Scary. Now, this one is not good at all. I hate this one because what it does is this black ball will spawn, right? And it will chase whoever it's closest to. It one hits the survivors, but does a hell of a lot of damage to the killers. Now, basically what happens in this game mode, it just becomes this giant loop around of who can get whoever which side killed by Evil Scary. And then you always have that stupid teammate that will just be like, oh, let me just get a little closer. Oh, and now Evil Scary's chasing you, and now you have to dodge Evil Scary while the killer is trying to attack you and run away. And this just forces out just the most boring gameplay I've ever seen. It is still fun though to watch the killer die from Evil Scary, but it's just not as good as it would be to just play a normal round. Gunslinger, now this one isn't as good because I don't know. It's just pretty annoying because they take away stun. Oh, basically what it is though is that you get 2 guns. You get not 2 guns. You get gun and punch. That's all you get out of your 3 options. Now, gun does 100 damage now. Fist does 50 damage now. The killer cannot be stunned, which is pretty hard to hit gun and fist, but obviously I know. Because it's just, and if you go against a pursuer that can dodge, you basically can't win the game mode. Or anyone that has a brain, it basically makes the game mode hard. Harken literally can't do anything in this game mode. Artful is the same thing too. Artful just gets absolutely clapped because, well, Harken has 400 and Artful doesn't have as much HP either, so it basically just makes it impossible to play that round. Nation, now this is a good one too. This is like Battle Royale, but it's all the killers. Everyone will become a killer and they'll fight into the very end. Bad Wars Computer does boost everyone, so keep that in mind. The zone will close in eventually. This is just a really good fun game mode. It's pretty annoying though when you have to deal with someone that's like a pursuer and he's just constantly just trying to kill you. Like their brain just turns off for some reason. I don't know why. Now for maps, I'm gonna talk about a few maps and how they change. I'm not gonna talk about a lot about this. If you want to skip to the skins, if that's what you're into, here's a timestamp to skip that. Anyways, this is kind of like for new players too, if they are confused about the maps and how they work. There are actually 7 maps. 3 of the maps change during the game. I'm going to be talking about the ones that change because obviously you don't need to be told about the maps that don't change. Now, Temple, Baseplate, and Teapot Paradise are the 3 maps that change. Now, Teapot Paradise, God, I can't talk. Actually, there's a teapot that blocks off this loopable area at the very beginning. Then once the Titan gets pretty close to it, the teapot will move on the bridge, completely closing off this giant bridge, which makes it so that you can't basically just constantly loop the killer. Which I like about this because most of these changes on the maps makes it so you can't loop anyone, which is a good feature. Thank God that these developers are like that. Temple, now there will be a giant ball. It basically that just says, now it breaks the bridge, 2 bridges, so makes it unable for you to loop the killer again. Now, this will kill anything that's on the path, so make sure you're not in the way of that. Even the killers died to this. Also, Baseplate brings up a giant bridge, so you can loop people. I don't know why they would do it, but they can't because there's water there that slows you down. Now, this is a good place for Artful. Artful can place his stuff there, completely just making it so you can't loop them there. And I think, honestly, blocking off paths and all that other stuff is just such a cool idea. And it makes it so you don't have to deal with looping all the time and you don't have people complain about looping. Now, when it comes to skins, they are absolutely fucking fantastic. Like, I don't know if there's not a single fucking skin in this game that doesn't have cool music, cool design, or at least cool voice lines, at least. Now, I'll play the music for you because this is low-key tough. But that music does not even compare close to this song.